Hello lovelies. So sorry I look so crazy today. It has been a pretty eventful day. I've been working on filming this and trying to pack up some stuff to go home. I don't know, normally the lighting isn't very bad right here, but for some reason my camera doesn't want to adjust. My camera has an auto adjust where it auto adjusts to the backlight. The fact that I'm lit from behind, but it's not doing that right now, so I do apologize. Anyway, so today's video is going to be the video that has been promised for you guys. It is me showing you guys how I made my mother's Christmas present, which I will go ahead and show you. This is what the finished product looked like. So this is just a basic, simple burlap wreath. When I first decided I wanted to make one of these several years ago, I went searching YouTube and Pinterest and different blogs and stuff, and I read and watched a bunch of different tutorials on different ways to make a burlap wreath. And basically what wound up happening is my mind kind of combined all of those ideas, and while using some of the tips, I basically came up with a way to make it that best suited me and my skill set, I guess, because I had never made one before. So this is really, really, really simple. It is not as elaborate as most burlap wreaths are. Very basic. It's not as big and poofy as much as most of them are. It's a little smaller. Like I said, it's a basic wreath for beginners. Really, really simple. I really like them, even though they're not like the big fancy ones. I still really like the way they turn out, and plus there's just something about making your own that you're gonna love regardless, you know? Well, if you're like me. So, if you guys wanna see how I made this wreath, then just stay tuned. Okay, so this is kind of just a basic little wreath. I only have a few supplies. The main part is you wanna get a wire frame. Sorry if you hear my dog barking, she doesn't like me, so. You want to get a wire frame. This one is an 18-inch. Normally I'd get one that's a little bit bigger than this, but the next biggest one they had was like a 24-inch, and it was just a little too big for my mom's door. So I went with the 18-inch. You just need a plain wire frame like this. I got all my stuff at Michael's. Also, you're going to want some stem wire, floral wire. This is just the plain silver kind. You can also, this is really cheap at Michael's. I've had this for over a year now. I've made like 3 or 4 wreaths using this. So, it lasts quite a while. And then I got this bow, which right now is kind of all messed up. But after attaching it, I'll kind of fluff it out how I want. This is just a red bow with white polka dots, obviously. Like I said, it's kind of all messed up. Honestly, they didn't really have a good selection of bows, but this is the color, or this is the kind of ribbon I wanted, and they were really busy, and there was no one that could have stopped and helped me, made a custom bow for me. So I just went ahead and got this one. And then you're gonna want some, I like using the burlap ribbon. This is just burlap ribbon with black chevron on it. I think this is a wired ribbon, which honestly, if you can get the ribbon that has the wiring in it, it's really nice for these. Like I said, this is a really simple one, so it's not very big and fluffy, but the good thing about having the wired ribbon, Ava, go. The good thing about having the wired ribbon is that it holds its shape, so you can fluff it out really nice and big. I got 2 of these. I'm not sure if I'll need 2 because, like I said, this is a smaller wreath. Normally I wind up using 2 full ones. I may not need it, but you know, I always need ribbon. And then the final thing that I got is just this little initial for her last name. Like I said, got all this at Michael's. You don't have to. You can customize it any way you wanted. I was going to make look for a little football, like a little wooden football, but I couldn't find one. Really, you can customize it any way you want. And like I said, this is really simple. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how I make it. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is take a piece of your wire. I can get a piece out. And I'm just gonna take my ribbon and unravel some of it. So what I like to do is I like to take the end like this, and I like to fold it over a couple of times so that it's kind of small, like that. And then I'll take my piece of wire and just wrap it around the end a couple times so I think it's kind of nice and secure. And this wire, it wraps really easily. Also, if you take like a pair of scissors, you can tighten it pretty easily, but this looks pretty tight and fine. So now I'm just going to pick any point really on my wreath, and I just threaded the first piece of ribbon through right where I tied it, and then I'm going to take this excess wire and just loop it around the first little piece of the wreath, and I'm going to just loop this around and tighten it until I feel that my ribbon is secure. Okay, so after you've wrapped this around your wire, you want to make sure that your ribbon is behind your wreath. So if not, you're gonna sit here like I just did and try to redo this 20 different times and it somehow fail every time. This is key, that it's behind it to start with. So you're going to pull through like I showed, you're gonna pull through like this. Create your first little bubble. So your first little bubble gets pulled through this first, in between the first two here from top down, okay? So then, after you have this, like this, you're going to take, like your pinky finger works best, grab in between the middle two, so this one and this one, always working from the top down, grab the ribbon, pull it through. This is why your pinky finger, it works really well to just put through there. So now you should have something that looks like this. Two little bubbles right beside each other. Now, going back to the top two, from this one and this one, you want to take your ribbon from behind again, like we did before. Don't worry that it's inside out. Take your pinky, pull it through. You just want to pull it through again and bubble it up, like this. Okay? So don't worry that this is inside out, because after we go all the way around, we can go back through and flip these and turn them so that the pattern's facing the right way. This is where having the ribbon with the wire on the inside really comes in handy, because it helps you flip this and fluff it up the way that you want. So that's why I recommend using ribbon that has the wire in it. So you do this like this one, and now back to the same step again, going in between the middle two right here. Take your finger, your pinky, whatever you want, and pull the ribbon through again. And like I said, the ribbon in the wire helps, or sorry, the wire in the ribbon helps to help you create your little bubbles. And you're going to do this all the way around your wreath. You're just gonna keep focusing only on these first two gaps. When you go back the second time, after you've gone all the way around one time, you're gonna come back through, you're gonna retie off your ribbon. Again, you're gonna start just like you did with the back. You tie it off, have it facing from the back, and you're gonna do the exact same steps, except this time, after you've gone through once, the second time you're gonna focus on the middle and bottom loop. But you're gonna do it exactly the same way that you do the top that I just showed you. So you're literally just continuing this pattern all the way around. Now when you get to a section like this, like usually you can see I fit about 4 little loops into one of these sections. Don't just continue on your pattern the same way, and just don't worry about the little bars that poke up. They'll be hidden when we go back through and fluff this out. Okay, so as you can see, I got to the end of my ribbon. I only got 3 on this last one, but it's okay. We'll just start our next set of ribbon on this last one as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna attach this ribbon a little bit differently than I did the first one. So I have this little bit of excess right here. I'm just gonna kind of pull it up and kind of just fold it back. Not really anything too terribly neatly. And then I'm going to take my floral wire. You really can't see this because it's so thin. And I'm going to, basically I'm going to just poke this wire through the ribbon. And I'm hiding it. So what I'm doing is I'm poking it through the front and I'm going to hide it underneath this loop right here. But I want to use this to secure around, so I'm just gonna keep twisting, poke it through again if I can, like that. And then I'm just going to probably do that a couple more times, maybe towards the other side, just until I feel that it's secure. And once I have that secure, I'm just going to cut it off at the end, like that. So, now, before I continue on with more ribbon, you can see this really only finished about 3 sections. So, as far as how much ribbon you're gonna need, it's really iffy because honestly, every time I do this, I seem to need a different amount. Because I make my loops either bigger or smaller. So I would, you know, make sure whatever ribbon you choose, you have easy access to getting, just because you may always need to go back and get more. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you what I was talking about before about twisting the ribbon. So we're gonna do this one right here. So basically what you do is once you have your whole thing done, you just take the ribbon that's inside out and you just flip it. I like to flip it under, like, just because it works better. It's easier to hide where I flipped, and then just kind of pull it out until you have it bubbled like you want, and then go back through and adjust your other bubbles as well, or loops, whatever you want to call them, bubbles, loops, whatever. Okay, so back on a different day, but I have finished putting the ribbon all the way around, and I went through and I fluffed it out as best as I could, just so I got to like how I liked it. And so what you want to do next is you want to kind of look and find a bare spot. For me, my bare spot is up here at the top, definitely. You can see there's a big gap. Well, I don't know if you can see. There's a big gap here. There's some letters here. There's some spaces over here. So I'm going to kind of use this gap to my advantage. And I'm going to make this bare spot where I place my bow. So if you go to Michael's and you get a bow, they come a pre-made bow or whatever, or you get a custom made bow, they come like this with wire on the back of them so that you can easily just wrap them around. So I'm just going to take my wire, and up here on my bare spot, I'm just going to, so I'm going to like kind of just set my bow to see where I like it. I think that works fine. This bow's kind of fat, so it really covers most of the area, so I don't need to really angle it low or anything. So now I'm just going to simply flip it on the back so you guys can see. All I'm going to do now is I'm going to move the ribbon on the front out of the way so that I can find a spot here and just thread through like so. And I'm going to thread through the top as well like this. And so what I'm doing is now they're in between. You can't really see, but now basically both sides are in between one bar on my wreath. So now I'm just going to take it like this and honestly just tighten it however I see best. So now you have your bow in place like so, And like I said, now is the time where you can go back in and fix your bow up. This bow was really messed up when I got it, but it doesn't matter because just use everything to your advantage. Move your ribbon, because I did now I kind of exposed that red, so I'm gonna hide it a little. And I'm just gonna fluff this bow till I think it looks nice and pretty. So that is how that looks. My next goal is definitely to learn how to tie these bows on my own. But yeah, so next step is going to be the letter. So I just have this wooden letter here, and I like getting these black ones because they have a bunch that aren't painted, but I really like the black ones mainly because of the font that they use, and it really, because it is black, it's universal. It goes with pretty much everything. So similar to how we found a spot for the bow, I'm gonna just kind of look and just kind of place my letter in places, see where I like it. I kind of like to put it off center, kind of like that. I think actually this is gonna be a good spot for it right here. So now for this, there's two options. You can hot glue your letter onto your ribbon if you want. So I just like to use this. So I'm just gonna cut this floral wire in half because honestly, I do not need that big of a piece. So I'm gonna put this right where I said I liked it, and I'm just going to find a nook. Here's a really good one. So the ribbon kind of lays flat right here. And honestly, because this ribbon has the wire in it, I can go back in and fix it after I'm done. So I'm just gonna place my letter right here. And I'm literally just going to take the floral wire and I'm gonna try to find the best place for this. So I think I'm gonna poke it through right here and then bend it, poke it around. Make sure it's not exposed on the outside, like that. And then I'm just going to turn it around like this so you guys can't see that. There you go. So now I'm just gonna take my two pieces and I'm gonna kind of move it around till I feel like they're even. Like about right there, I would say. And now I'm just gonna bend this, and the same way I was applying it with the ribbon, just kind of bend it around and stuff until it's tight and I feel like it's secure. And that's pretty much, there's that. So this is moving a lot for me. However, I'm not worried about it coming off. I'm more so just worried about it staying how I want it. So I am going to go in and just hot glue the back of this onto the ribbon, but it's secure, you know what I mean? The only thing it really does is flip like this, but it's not gonna come off. Alright you guys, so that is going to be it for me. I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you would like to see more videos from me. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them down below. Other than that, I'm going to go ahead and go. I hope you all have a wonderful, beautiful, blessed day, and I will see you all next week. Bye.